Hejsan alla! Hoppas ni mår bra. Välkomna till vår nästa digitala kurs.
Hi everyone, good morning. In English this time, welcome to Digital Lesson 6. I'm sure you've guessed where we are from the music. We're in Scandinavia. Last time we were in Australis, meaning southern. So this time we're in the Nordic countries. These countries include Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway and Sweden. This northern part of Europe boasts beautiful landscapes and spectacular scenery, as you can see from the photo below, as well as a coveted quality of life and high quality education. Before delving into this stunning part of the world, here is the overview. 6.1. Why do so many people want to live and study in Nordic countries? 6.2. Two well-known Nordic companies, Maersk and IKEA, both Goliaths in their field. And to finish, 6.3, Business English Part 1. Now the Moodle test will be based on the vocabulary in blue, the content and the business English expressions. I hope you enjoy this lesson. Let's get started. So 6.1 is why do so many people want to live and study in the Nordic countries? Before exploring the reasons why, let's take a look at a map of Scandinavia.
The Nordic countries are often regarded as being some of the best countries in the world in terms of human development, living standards, and economy strength. This region comprises of 5 sovereign states: Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. There are also autonomous regions and territories such as the Faroe Islands and Greenland, which both belong to the Kingdom of Denmark.
So as usual, here is the tape script. Isn't it interesting that Denmark, this small country, has these 2 autonomous regions, which are the Faroe Islands and Greenland, which is the biggest island in the world? In 2022, for the 5th year running, Finland ranked number 1 in the UN World Happiness Report. Denmark was second, Iceland third, Sweden was 7th and Norway was 8th. Indeed, Nordic countries score highly every year and always dominate the top 10. This report ranks 156 countries according to how happy their citizens feel. In this survey, millions of people around the world evaluate their own lives. Before exploring why Nordic countries do so well, let's listen to Professor Jeffrey Sachs, a professor at Columbia University in the USA and the co-editor of the UN World Happiness Report. He will give us his definition of happiness.
Measuring happiness is a fairly complicated business. First of all, we need to understand what happiness means.
It means the satisfaction with the way one's life is going. It's not primarily a measure of whether one laughed or smiled yesterday, but how one feels about the course of one's life.
And here's the tape script. Indeed, people in Nordic countries seem very satisfied with the way their life is going. They acknowledge and appreciate their exceptional quality of life. Their social cohesion and sense of community are known to promote feelings of well-being. Nordic citizens enjoy a tight-knit community spirit. People help and respect each other. Finnish people, for example, don't care about status and hierarchy. They rarely display wealth. There is very little keeping up with the Joneses and one-upmanship. There is also a sentiment of trust. People don't lock doors. If you leave a bag in a restaurant, you can go back and it will still be there. Young parents even leave pushchairs with babies in outside coffee shops. Nordic people also trust the government. People have the feeling they are safe and taken care of. This clip sums it up nicely.
People are happier when they are generous and when they feel that the society that they're in is a generous society. And then we find people want to live in places with decent government. If government is corrupt, if leaders are bizarre or autocratic or corrupt, the society is unhappy.
And here is the tape script. Nordic people know they will be looked after. When they're sick, they are provided with excellent healthcare for free. Finns also receive Europe's highest child benefits, and childcare costs are mostly met by the government. Every new mum receives a baby box with 63 items to take care of the first year. Many babies actually sleep in the box. Parents also get 10 months parental leave. This can be used by either parent. A parent can even stay at home until the child is 3 and keep their job. However, they will take a pay cut. In Finland, children then start school at the age of 7. Finland's schools have been at the top of the rankings for more than a decade. Education is free from nursery school to graduation. Textbooks, school meals and transport are free. The aim is that every student has the same opportunity, no matter what their background. The government wants every child to reach their full potential. Nobody is left behind. Children are active learners. They have the leading role in their learning. They set their own goals. All their teachers have a master's degree in education. They are highly qualified and highly paid. Interestingly, the school day is one of the shortest in the world. Young children spend 20 hours a week on average, 5 hours a day. Most kids walk to school on their own, and they're often on their own in the afternoon. It is considered important that kids become independent at an early age. Moving on to higher education, universities in Nordic countries are regarded as some of the most innovative and prestigious in the world. They are known for teaching excellence and are well equipped with the latest technologies and state-of-the-art infrastructure. International students can explore a wide range of English-taught programs. Nordic universities place emphasis on independent study and practical thinking. One of the best perks of choosing to study in Nordic countries is the tuition fees. Education is either free or affordable. Happiness also depends in part on having choices. The Danish government supports its citizens if they want to have a career change, for example. In the next clip, a Danish lady, Christina, tells us her experience.
Another determinant of well-being is one's sense of personal freedom to make important life choices. Can you shape your life the way you want?
Christina was unhappy at her job in advertising and took an 8-month break.
Social security is also something I think is very important. What I did didn't make me happy, and it didn't let me have that work-life balance that we cherish so much here. And so we have a system that made it possible for me to quit my job and have some thinking time and figure out, what's my next step in life.
Christina received about $2,000 a month from the Danish government while she was unemployed. She is now in school to become a painter. Her tuition is covered, and she receives an educational stipend of about $1,000 a month.
And here is the tape script. You may be wondering how the government can afford such a generous welfare state. The so-called Nordic model is explained in the following clip.
Well, there is something called the Nordic model, but what exactly is it? The Nordic model is a term used to capture the unique combination of free market capitalism and social benefits that have given rise to a society that enjoys large amounts of top quality services, such as free education and healthcare. These benefits are funded by the citizens of these countries, aka the taxpayers, and these citizens have a high degree of trust in their government, which allows them to work together to reach compromises and address societal challenges through democratic processes. To put it simply, these countries have some of the highest tax rates in the world. In return, social programs are of extreme high quality. Those who don't earn a lot can still live a good life through social programs, and those who earn a lot will usually have a pretty good life anyway.
And here is the tape script. It's quite obvious, isn't it, that the reason they can pay for all these benefits is that they have high taxes. But I mean, if you have a high income to make up for it, it all works out, doesn't it, in the end? In Nordic countries, people have a clear boundary between their working life and their leisure time. In other words, citizens enjoy a work-life balance. They tend to leave the office around 4 p.m. and they don't take work home. Evenings and weekends are devoted to rest, relaxation, and spending time indoors and outdoors with family and friends. Spending time with loved ones is a priority for Nordic people. Simple pleasures are considered a key factor in their contented mindset. All Nordic people are nature lovers and get out into the countryside as often as possible. Finns, for example, love swimming in freezing water, like in the picture, and relaxing in a sauna. In Finland, there are 5.5 million people and 3 million saunas. The climate is obviously a drawback to living in Nordic countries. Living conditions are harsh due to the mountainous terrain and the long, cold winters. But this doesn't deter the population. Their determination in the face of adversity is summed up in the term sisu, which shapes how they live their life. Sisu is a Finnish philosophy of life which involves resilience and courage, strength and spirit. Another concept which is prevalent in Nordic countries is hygge. As the photo says, it is a feeling of inner warmth and coziness from time spent enjoying, again, simple pleasures and living in the moment, in the present. Hygge means making the most of everyday moments and making them special. Hygge celebrates ordinary life and transforms the ordinary into something which nourishes the spirit. It revolves around positivity and gratitude. One central theme again is spending time with loved ones. Nordic people create special moments with family and friends, whether it be a walk in the country, sharing a meal, or a coffee. Another facet of hygge is creating a cozy atmosphere. This often involves lighting candles. All in all, I feel that we have a thing or two to learn from the Nordic mindset. Next, we're going to focus on their business prowess and shine a spotlight on two of the most successful companies, Maersk and IKEA. So over to 6.2. Maersk and IKEA are two Scandinavian powerhouses. Both of these companies are leaders in their sector. Let's begin with Maersk. It's no exaggeration to say that shipping containers are the backbone of the modern economy. Nearly everything we consume started its life in a shipping container. The Danish company Maersk is the biggest shipping company in the world. It's the freight giant. It handles about 20% of the world's container trade shipped by sea. That's 1 in 5. Important. It has a fleet of over 700 ships. The Maersk is one of the biggest ships ever built. Each container on the ship can carry 100 washing machines, and the Maersk can carry 18,000 containers. To give you an idea of how many that is, if they were placed end to end, they would reach into space. Richard is on board the Maersk.
Pretty much everything we buy will be moved from where it was made to where it needs to be on one of these.
This gigantic container ship travels a continuous 45,000 kilometre route between Asia and Europe, a task it was designed to do non-stop for the next 25 years. Currently it's heading towards Rotterdam, the biggest port in Europe. The Maersk carries its shipping containers stacked in columns, 23 across its width and 24 along its length. And because there's no deck, the containers can be piled up to 21 high. Right now, Joe is going to show me one empty section on board that'll be filled at the next stop.
This empty section from the arrow on the video is shown in this photo. It is in fact more than 10 meters below sea level and represents less than 5% of the ship's capacity. You can see the two people as dots at the bottom. Transport actually accounts for a large percentage of the value of the appliances that we purchase. As you can see in the screenshot, small appliances, transport accounts for 27% of the cost. For large appliances, it's 41%, and for assembled furniture, it's 62%. Over the last 2 years, Maersk and other shipping companies have experienced ups and downs. It all started in early 2020 when the pandemic hit. COVID-19 wreaked havoc on the transport industry. China shut down for 2 months and stopped exporting. Bear in mind that 7 of the world's 10 largest container ports are in China. There was virtually nothing for Maersk to ship. In 2021 and 2022, there was a demand and supply crisis at the same time, which also caused huge disruptions in the global supply chain. A black swan event is an event which comes as a surprise and has a major impact. In 2021-2022, there were many of these. On the demand side, people were in lockdown, staying at home and buying more online than ever before. They got bored and started upgrading their houses, their gardens. They bought fitness equipment and updated their wardrobes. There was a global surge in demand of around 30%. On the supply side, ports were completely saturated because of the surge in demand. There were bottlenecks with container ships unable to dock and unload. For example, in Los Angeles in January 2021, dozens of container ships were unable to dock. In addition, a container ship blocked the Suez Canal for 6 days, so ships couldn't get through. To make matters worse, when the container ships arrived at ports, there were not enough truck drivers to take the containers to their next destination. To cap it all, many of the port workers contracted COVID. This led to a perfect storm. Consequently, there was a sharp rise in freight rates. Maersk and its competitors were able to charge higher prices for their services. 2021 and 2022 became years of bumper profits. In 2023, there is now a new set of circumstances. First of all, Maersk has just appointed a new CEO. Swiss-born Vincent Clerc is currently at the helm. This is a pun when you consider that this is a picture of a helm. Okay, so at the helm means he's at the head of the company, a nautical expression, so it's perfect for Maersk. He has only been CEO for a month. However, the company should be in safe hands since he's very experienced and has worked for Maersk for 25 years. It will be very challenging for Vincent Clerc to maintain the momentum of the last 2 years. We are now in a world post-COVID from a business point of view, and the shipping industry is not going back to normal. Notably, we have a war in Ukraine. The 24th of February, which is 11 days from now, marks the first anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine. Russia is the world's second largest producer of oil and natural gas, and it supplies much of the world with their energy. The EU, for instance, gets 40% of its natural gas and 25% of its oil from Russia. Given the uncertainty caused by the conflict and the sanctions against Russia, the price of oil has risen dramatically. Higher fuel costs have a huge impact on companies such as Maersk. As we saw in the USA and Australia, a recession is probably looming. There will be a slowdown in economic activity. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, is predicting that global economic growth will go from 6% in 2021 to 2.7% this year. This downturn will significantly impact shipping companies. Last but not least, sustainability is becoming a watchword. People are more and more concerned about the impact of consumerism on the planet. For example, there is a seismic shift from fast fashion to pre-loved sites, such as Vinted. All in all, Maersk is entering choppy waters. Do you get it? Another pun. The challenge is to develop flexibility, reactivity, and resilience to be able to cope with the next black swan event. So let's move on to IKEA. It's the biggest furniture retailer in the world. Two superlatives: the biggest shipping company, now the biggest furniture retailer. The company has 460 stores in 63 countries, and it employs 220,000 workers. The company was set up in 1943 by Ingvar Kamprad. His vision was to create a better everyday life for many people. Ingvar was born in Småland in southern Sweden. It is such a harsh and inhospitable region that over half the inhabitants emigrated to America between 1850 and 1920. In order to survive in this region, Smålanders learned to use scarce resources and work together. Ingvar started his furniture business on a very small scale on the farm Elmtarid in the village of Annarid in Småland. In 1943, Ingvar was 17 and registered his firm as IKEA. So Ingvar Kamprad Elmtarid Annarid. The original spirit of using scarce resources wisely and working together as a team is still deeply ingrained in the culture. Mark McGee, General Manager of IKEA Indonesia, will explain some of the values. Over to you, Mark.
We all think the same way. We're all guided by our Swedish management style. We believe that it is the heritage of our Swedish management style that gives us a competitive advantage. We listen to each other, we work together, we appreciate each other, and for me, that is one of the key elements of why IKEA is successful across the globe. If you work at IKEA, you have to work in the Swedish way. Many friends ask me, what is the Swedish way? Well, let me try and describe that a little bit. Here at IKEA, we believe in flat management structures. We don't have a huge number of layers in our management. We believe that the best person to make decisions in our business is the person who faces the customer. We want everybody in IKEA to be able to make those decisions. And we say that taking responsibility is a privilege. You don't need to wait for the boss to tell you what to do. You are empowered to do what you think is right for our customers.
And here is the tape script. Did you notice how they have this flat management structure, which means there isn't a big power distance between the different layers, and all employees are empowered to do what they think is right for the customer? It must be very empowering to work for such a company. So as you know, IKEA sells affordable flat pack furniture, and this explains one of the keys to its success. It reduces transport and storage costs for IKEA and enables customers to put large pieces of furniture in the boot of their car. The need to put the furniture together has given rise to the term the IKEA effect. It refers to the satisfaction we get from assembling a piece of furniture ourselves. Studies have proved that consumers are more attached to objects they have put effort into. IKEA has mass market appeal. You'll find it in most student rooms, but you'll also find some pieces in smart homes. It's proud of its global working class and middle class target. The stores are very well thought out. You can't take any shortcuts. Once you enter, you have to walk through every area before getting to the exit. The shape of the floor pan is curved to keep shoppers curious about what comes next. Even though the stores are huge, they are made up of cozy areas, which look like rooms in your house. Finally, the food section and restaurant enable you to spend hours in the store, making it more of an experience and a family outing. Unlike many brands whose origins you don't know, most people know that IKEA is Swedish. The colours of the store are yellow and blue, the same as the Swedish flag. When you walk in the door, you are greeted with hej. That's how they say hello in Swedish. The furniture is given Swedish names. For example, my dining room chairs are called Ekedalen. Swedish meatballs, called köttbullar, are served in the restaurant. Most countries don't feature their country of origin to this extent. IKEA is very proud of its Swedish heritage. Finally, over to 6.3, which is Business English Part 1. So for Business English Part 1, we're going to do some language for negotiating. The following conversation in a business context takes place in Stockholm. James is a buyer for Premier Inn, which is the UK's largest hotel brand with 72,000 rooms. 1,000 of the rooms are currently being renovated, and James is in Stockholm meeting with Sarah to negotiate a deal to buy 1,000 Poang chairs. There's a photo of the Poang chair. I'm sure you all recognise it. These are the best-selling chairs in the IKEA range. So listen to the conversation. See how much of it you can understand. If you need after, you also have the tape script in the next slides. Enjoy. Hi James, welcome back to Stockholm. Did you have a good flight over?
Yes, thanks, Sarah. It was slightly delayed due to a baggage handler strike at Heathrow. You may have heard that Great Britain is experiencing a lot of strikes at the moment.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Please take a seat. What can I get you to drink?
I'd love a coffee.
Here you are. Help yourself to milk and sugar and cinnamon buns.
Ooh, thanks. I remember those cinnamon buns from last time. They're absolutely delicious.
Shall we get down to business?
Great. As I said in my email, at Premier Inn, we're currently renovating 1,000 rooms. We're completely replacing the furniture. We're interested in putting a classic Boeing chair in every room.
What a brilliant idea. It's true that the Poang is our best-selling item.
What is it made of?
It's a wooden frame. We use beechwood because it bends. As you know, the Poang swings, so the wood needs to be hard-wearing yet bendable. It either comes in a synthetic material or soft leather. In both cases, the covers are machine washable. They can also be replaced if need be. It's available in a variety of colours. What colour did you have in mind?
As you know, purple is the dominant colour in our hotels because it symbolises calmness and luxury. Would it be possible to have the chairs covered in purple leather?
I'm sure that would be possible.
How wide are the chairs? The reason I ask is that we don't have a lot of space in each room.
The chairs are 68 centimetres wide, so they don't take up a lot of space.
Great. Can we move on to the price? I saw in your catalogue that the chairs retail at €180 each, including shipping. As this is a bulk order, would you be able to grant us a 50% discount?
Ooh, I'm afraid that's rather high. I couldn't agree to that. If you were willing to pay upfront, I could offer you a 25% discount.
That's slightly low, but it might work. How soon can you deliver?
It would take us a few days to produce 1,000 purple covers. We could deliver within a month.
That sounds fair. What guarantee do the chairs come with?
All our chairs come with a 10-year warranty. However, we do point out that the weight limit is 170 kilos.
That seems fine. Well, I think that's just about everything.
Great. Shall we just run through what we've agreed? You've placed an order for 1,000 Poang chairs with purple leather covering. The unit cost will be €135, which includes shipping and a 10-year warranty. The flat pack chairs will be delivered to your warehouse in London within a month.
Wonderful. You've got a deal. Let's call it a day. May I take you out to lunch to celebrate our deal?
Oh, great. Thanks, James. It's always a pleasure doing business with you. Can you answer these comprehension questions? Why was James's flight slightly delayed? What did James initially want to pay for the chairs? Why are the chairs made of beechwood? Why does James ask how wide the chairs are? And when will the chairs be delivered to the warehouse in London? Pause the video now because I'm about to give you the answers. Here are the answers. So why was James's flight delayed? There's a baggage handler strike at Heathrow. What did he want to pay for the chairs? He wanted to pay €90 each. Do you remember they were 180 and he wanted a 50% discount? Why are they made of beechwood? Well, because this wood bends. Why does James ask how wide the chairs are? Because there isn't a lot of space in each room. When will the chairs be delivered? It's within a month. And finally, we have another little exercise. Do you remember some of the vocabulary? Can you fill in these gaps with one word per gap? As usual, stop the video now because I'm about to give you the answers. Here are the answers. You may have heard that Great Britain is experiencing a lot of strikes at the moment. We are interested in putting a classic Pohang chair in every room. It is available in a variety of colours. As this is a bulk order, a big order, would you be able to give us a 50% discount? How soon can you deliver? However, we do point out that the weight limit is 170 kilos. Shall we just run through what we've agreed? May I take you out to lunch to celebrate our deal? That's it, everyone, for Digital Lesson 6. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I have absolutely fallen in love with Scandinavia while preparing this lesson, and I hope you have too. I very much look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks for our last destination. We shall be on location and recording live from this location. So, something to look forward to. In the meantime, I'm going to leave you with a little footage of some beautiful Scandinavian scenery, and I hope you enjoy the song. Take care, everyone, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. All the best. Bye-bye.